The following feature presentation is part of the Skywalking Network.
This is what you can look forward to on episode 519 of Skywalking Through Neverland.
Just throw a couple of yub-nubs in there.
Yub, 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 yub. Yub, yub.
And Dave Filoni said, George loves your character so much that we wrote this new episode.
Wow, endorsed by George Lucas.
I know, right?
Wow, we get serenaded right out the gate?
In 11 years, that's never happened.
Good new lore, dropping new info on me.
We're all about educating in the ways of Star Wars.
We were both murdered by Maul, and I said, yes, we were.
Are you ready?
Welcome to Neverland.
Here we go.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land.
When I first made Star Wars, everybody in Hollywood said, well, this is a movie Disney should have made.
You're more than just fans. You're family.
Best day ever!
Secrets love.
It's about family, and that's what's so powerful about it.
Hey.
You use a bird to write with, it's called tweeting.
When we visit the world of Disney, we never grow old. It's a Peter Pan, Never Land that keeps us young in heart.
This is Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you are skywalking through Neverland. I have a good feeling about this.
Hey, Skywalkers! Voice actress Anna Graves joins us for this fun-filled episode. You know her from the many characters she voices in the Clone Wars, most notably the one who stole Obi-Wan's heart, Satine Kryze.
And the sister of Bo-Katan Kryze.
And big thanks to Spencer Jowitz for setting this all up. Spencer, you the man.
Yes. And also this episode, we will thank the Skywalking Force in our shout-outs.
All right, but for right now, we want to welcome you back to Skywalking Through Neverland. I am Richard Woloski, but now everyone please say hello to my sweetie wife, Sarah, the queen of podcasting.
That is appropriate.
Yes,
Thank
you're
you.
all decked out in your Queen Amidala best.
Absolutely. Skywalkers, we are your enthusiastic podcast destination for the many decades of your Star Wars, Disney, Marvel, and pop culture fandom. So imagine a big Wookiee hug from us and a little sprinkle of pixie dust for our family of Skywalkers.
Oh, do.
Oh, yes.
YouTube
yes.
update.
Oh, yes. What is it?
I don't know. Talk for a second.
Oh, okay. So on YouTube, we are trying to we passed 10,000 subscribers, 10,500. I think we're at 10,560 last week, something like that. But this week, now, what have we gone up to?
This week, oh my goodness, we went up another whole bunches because right now we are at 10,581. Can we see that?
Whoa!
10,581. That's a considerable amount from last week, and I want to thank Hugh Jackman. Yes.
Hugh Jackman at the Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah, we put up a lot of videos. We went to the Hollywood Bowl last week. We saw Hugh Jackman in concert, posted a whole lot of videos, and people have been liking those videos and subscribing because that's the power of the Wolverine. All right, so if you haven't already, please subscribe. Like we need what, 419 more
Yep.
before San Diego Comic-Con?
419, that's it.
Okay, 419 in 5 weeks. 6 weeks.
Great. You know what? Just grab someone's phone and subscribe. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Don, come on, grab someone's phone. Jeff, your workmates, come on. Grab their phones.
Jeff's
subscribe.
Coming in with this in the Sky Chat and says snicked.
Ooh, well, that would be applying to last week's episode, all about the. Oh no, snicked is a Wolverine reference. Is that comic?
Yeah. When he brandishes his claws.
He did that. He did that pose like for a second. at Hollywood Bowl. It was fun.
Now we're on the same page.
Yes. Okay.
Jeff, we're catching up to you, okay? All right. Do you know who else we need to catch up with?
What?
Small World Vacations, because we are being sponsored by Small World Vacations, the aforementioned Small World Vacations. And they are a diamond-level Disney vacation planner travel agency and can help you book your trip to a Disney park around the world, or on a Disney cruise, or to the Epic Universe. Universal Studios Epic Universe, you heard me right. Now, best of all, this service is free. What? Yes, free of charge. So head over there to smallworldvacations.com for a no-obligation price quote and tell them Skywalking Through Neverland sent you. If I'm not mistaken, I think I just said free of charge.
Every once in a while, that Boston accent.
My Bostonian just slip out. Oh no. Free of charge.
Free of charge. And this just in, Don Glover will threaten to sing to people unless they subscribe.
Oh, I should do the same thing.
Thank you, Don. You really should.
Oh, I should.
This is a
If
good,
you don't subscribe, I will sing to you.
Good suggestion.
And to your family. All right, now we are recording this from Long Beach, California on June the 10th, 2025.
So, Richard, what happened today in Star Wars history?
Well, let's go back 28 years. 28 years to this date, June the 10th, 1997.
That's 28 years.
28 years ago.
So the 90s, oh my God, this is ridiculous.
Don't think about it.
All
Don't
right.
think about it.
I
You know
won't
what you do want to think about? The fact that on this date, the Wookiee won. Yes, let the Wookiee win, or just give him a medal. And Chewbacca got a medal. Carrie Fisher presented Chewbacca with the Lifetime Achievement Award at the MTV Movie Awards. And Carrie Fisher insisted that Peter Mayhew be in the Chewbacca costume for this presentation. If you don't get Peter Mayhew, I ain't doing it.
Aww.
You can only be one person in that costume to be a believable Chewbacca. And the fact that I worked for MTV a year afterwards, knowing how cheap they can be, the fact that they flew him over, they really wanted Carrie Fisher there. And once again, you can't just give this award to a guy in a costume. It's got to be the real Chewbacca, but they got him.
And that Chewbacca gets his medal.
Yes, in typical Carrie Fisher fashion, during the presentation, she regretted not having love scenes with Chewbacca.
Oh.
Once again, in typical Carrie Fisher fashion.
Wow.
So 28 years ago. Congratulations, Chewbacca. You got a medal and the Lifetime Achievement Award. Let that Wookiee win. All right, do you know who else is going to win, Sarah?
Who?
The Skywalkers. Because coming up, we have got an amazing, fun-filled episode with voice actress Anna Graves. Hang on to something. And action.
Hello, this is Anna Graves, the one who stole Obi-Wan's heart as Duchess Satine Kryze in the Clone Wars. And I am skywalking through Neverland, baby.
Very nice.
There are a handful of Star Wars characters who've had a major impact on the lives of Jedi Masters and Sith Lords. Characters who could have made the best Jedi leave the Order or even jumpstart Order 66. There is only one voice actress who can say she voiced both of those characters.
We are excited to have, for the first time ever on Skywalking Through Neverland, Anna Graves, who voiced many characters, but above all, she gave Duchess Satine Kryze the sound of royalty in the Clone Wars.
Well, you can meet Duchess Graves at the Boonta Eve Special Edition signing on August the 8th in Frisco, Texas, the day of Rebel Scum Con. Hey, Anna!
Richard and Sarah. Hey.
Wow, we get serenaded right out the gate?
In 11 years, that's never happened.
Ooh, what? That's the proper response to a serenade, is to serenade back.
You would think so. All right, now we front loaded our intro with a lot of teases, but we're gonna get there. However, we want to know all about your Star Wars fandom.
Oh, I am a big Star Wars fan. What do you want to know? Do you want to know when it began?
It began, day one.
I mean, look, when I was a little girl, Return of the Jedi was in the theaters, and I asked for the Ewoks for Christmas, and I still have my stuffies, right? I still have my, yes, that's my guy, that's my Wicket. So I still have my Wicket. I still have, and I it's not just that the Ewoks were amazing. My favorite Star Wars movie has always been Empire, because I loved that Leia and Han went on their own adventure, and Luke was discovering more about himself and going on his adventure, and Yoda. And I mean, just like all the information and the lore that we got in that episode is spectacular. Plus the adventuring. So I was always a huge Empire fan. So I still have my original VHS trilogy I have A New Hope and Empire and Return of the Jedi in the cute little box set with the flaps on it. And
you are hardcore.
I don't have a VHS player to play it in, but
you gotta keep that though. Yeah,
you gotta keep that. That's I'm a nostalgic person, so I love it. I love collecting things, not from I'm not a collector, or in the sense that I buy things and think, oh, this is going to be a lot, of money someday.
No fun.
It's not as much fun for me. I know it's a lot of fun for people, but I like it when people give me things that have meaning. Like we were talking about the Mythosaur, like that was a big deal for me, because I got to play Duchess Satine. So, but yeah, I think it's in my DNA, Star Wars. It's always been around. I was born in 1978, so there was just something in the water when we were all born at that point. So, yeah. And then for many, many years, we didn't have a lot of new content. So, right. Yeah. So in the 90s, when new content started ramping up, it was just so exciting. And I remember going to see A New Hope in the theater for the first time in, whatever year they released it right before episode 1 came out.
Yeah, it was released in 1979 and then back in 81 and 82.
Yeah. But
I can give you the dates if you want.
When did episode 1 come out?
Oh,
Phantom
1999.
99, yeah, Phantom Menace. So right before Phantom Menace, do you remember they re-released A New Hope in the theaters?
Yeah,
the special editions.
1997 special editions.
Yes, there you go. So that was the first time I got to see it in a big theater. And
yeah, same. Yeah.
Right? I still have my ticket stub.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so then I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So I'll preface this by a little anecdote for me. So that was the first time I saw these movies in the theater, like seeing A New Hope. And that was the first time I realized that Leia was wearing not lipstick, but lip gloss. Because that's the first time I could actually see that her makeup, right? So I don't know. Is there anything funny like that hit you? Seeing
that's so funny. No, I don't think that that I had like a realization where I thought, oh, that is completely different on the big screen than the smaller screens. I think for me, it was just the energy, because I was sitting in the front row all the way to the right. It was a terrible seat, but we had waited in lines to get the tickets. But when the crawl came on and the music blew out the speakers and everybody, the energy and watching that movie with other people, I remember that feeling. I think that was what stuck with me.
I can understand that.
It's funny you say that you got your original ticket stubs. Yeah.
Oh my.
So do I.
Oh, you got them all.
Oh my goodness.
I don't throw away anything.
Yeah. And it's too bad. Ticket stubs have lost their,
their screenshots. Yes.
They're not
physical
screenshots, or it's just a little sad receipt or something that you get that it doesn't actually look like a ticket stub.
Yeah.
No. All right, now since you have a fascination with Ewoks, let's say you were called in to voice an Ewok.
Okay.
What would that sound like, and what would be your Ewok name?
Oh, I love that. And I don't know enough about the Ewok language to make a decision, like, based on the reality. But I think, like, if it was going to be something cute and
Ewok,
just throw a couple of yub nubs in there.
Yub. Yub.
And she would be called something, I don't know, something like Cantor or something, or Canner or Tater, something with an ER.
Or maybe this could be how we reinvent Princess Nisa.
There you go. Exactly. Oh, I remember Princess Nisa, and Cree Summer voiced her, and I've never gotten to work with her, but I was in an elevator with her once, and I think my daughter made a joke in front of her, and she was on her way to dance class, and my daughter said, "My tutu has been forward," and Cree just started laughing, and I was like, "There you go, my kid." I said something like "my kid," and but I didn't want to be like, "Hey, by the way, I'm a voice actor too, and I love you." I didn't.
Did you know that her father voiced Boba Fett?
Oh, really?
In the Droids animated series in '85, and also in their Star Wars Holiday Special.
Oh, that's so
Don
cool.
Don Franks voiced Boba Fett, and Don Franks' daughter is Cree Summer.
Wow.
There you go. I did not know that it ran in the family, that they were like an entertaining family. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Richard. Good new lore, dropping new info on me.
We're all about educating in the ways of Star Wars.
All right. So in the Clone Wars, you voiced like so many characters, such as Bounty Hunter Sugi, which is also a cute name, by the way, Sugi.
Sugi's very cute.
Yeah. Jedi Master Sisters, Tiplar and Tiplee.
Yeah.
And the one that stole Obi-Wan's heart, Duchess Satine Kryze. And
Yeah.
I gotta say, I love romance in Star Wars. But since we didn't know much of Mandalore when the Clone Wars began, like, how did you find her voice?
It was presented to me that she would sound regal and princessy, and the reference that I got was Cate Blanchett from the film Elizabeth that came out in 1998.
Upon this moment lies the future happiness of my people and the peace of this realm.
And I knew that film. And so I just did, my best impression of someone who was strong-willed, with that just a hint of a British accent, sort of a received pronunciation. And I wanted her to have strength, but also warmth. And it was great because the first episode that I got to do as Duchess Satine was the second episode that everyone saw my character.
Oh.
So the Voyage of Temptation was the first, and it was supposed to be a standalone episode. And then they, long time later, brought me back. And I thought I was just there to do a new character or to do pickups or something. And Dave Filoni said, "George loves your character so much that we wrote this new episode, 2 new episodes to bookend the one that we've already recorded. So we're going to do a few little changes, little pickups to the ending of Voyage of Temptation. And I think at the beginning too, to make it not as, oh, we haven't seen each other in a long time. We just saw each other in the episode previous this." Yeah, so
well, endorsed by George Lucas.
I know, right? Yeah, no, it was just like, whew, is that breathless moment. And I thought that one episode that I did was so brilliant and lovely and such a great experience that when I left the recording studio, I was like, well, that was it. That was my Star Wars moment. And I just didn't know that there would be more moments. And there were so many more moments that I got after that. So yeah, I just didn't know.
Yeah, so many more moments that would span seasons.
Yeah.
And it would also involve one of the most heart-wrenching scenes of the whole Clone Wars series.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Oh yeah. We'll get to that in a bit.
Okay.
But your Satine's relationship with Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan is one of the most strongest, the most noble Jedi Masters out there, and he would have given up everything for Satine. Were you given the opportunity to work out a relationship with James Arnold Taylor before you started to record?
I mean, the way that it worked with the Clone Wars, and I'm sure your listeners know, if you've talked to some other actors, we didn't see the script until we walked in the door. Now, we always knew that we would get there, get there early, have time to read the script, have time to discuss and talk to our scene partners and the other actors. So, yes, so that first episode that I went in on Voyage of Temptation, it was sort of me just being the new kid at school and introducing myself to everyone. And that was the first time I met James. And he was lovely. He was so excited about Duchess Satine's character, because this is, this is big lore that George is introducing to us for Obi-Wan Kenobi from his standpoint of view, let alone the Mandalorian people, introducing a pacifist leader who's trying to keep her star system neutral during this gigantic war. So all these things combined were just sort of like, mind-boggling for us. So thankfully, James being A, a lovely person in real life, and B, just a really great actor, we just sort of figured it out. You know what I mean? I just jumped in. And that's the thing with voice acting, is if you know what you're doing as an actor and you are willing to take direction, you just jump in the pool, no matter how cold the water is. And you just do it. You start going. And that cast that we recorded with, that first episode, just some brilliant people in there. And you could just feel the energy. So there was no... Yeah, they helped me for 100%. If I had been recording on my own, I don't know that I would have given the performance that I did.
Well, you know what? Highest kudos to you, because we've had James Arnold Taylor and Ashley Eckstein on the show, and they've always said, yeah, they're given a script as they're walking into the recording studio. Yeah. So, but the relationship that you and Obi-Wan, or you and James, the alter egos,
yes,
you had like a Han and Leia, very natural, fitting relationship, which was very hard since we've always known that Jedis cannot form attachments, but yet you could just see and hear and feel everything in his voice and how you responded to him. You got one life to live. He's got one life to live. And then you get Anakin in there just antagonizing everything.
I love him so much. So, you and Satine.
Go save your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Anakin, he's not my girlfriend. Yeah. I think when we recorded Voyage of Temptation, I wasn't necessarily thinking exactly what you just said, right? But the mirroring relationship of Leia and Han. But 100% when I went back and recorded the first episode that you get to meet the Duchess in, especially in that scene where I get to save his life and I'm giving him a hard time and yet I still haven't heard any thanks.
For a man sworn to peace, you take an unseemly pleasure in the injuries of others.
For a woman sworn to non-violence, you don't seem troubled that I could have been killed back there.
But you weren't, and yet I still haven't heard any thanks.
It's like, oh my God, it just drips with, the Princess Leia attitude. And so I 100% from that moment on perceived their relationship as having that same, he infuriates me, but I love him so much.
Yeah, it totally comes off the screen. And when you record with the Clone Wars cast, like, who is the one that needs to be reeled in? Who is the parental figure? And who is the one that got away? Like the one you wanted to record with but never were able to?
Oh, well, I will say the one that was my right-hand man and there, other than James, and there to do any character and to step in when actors could not come was Corey Burton. I love Corey Burton so much. What a fantastic actor and a creative person. And talk about jumping in with both feet and just being ready to do whatever he needs to do as an actor. So he was my Darth Maul. So when everything that I was recording with Darth Maul, he was Darth Maul in the studio. So love Sam. So that's the one that got away is Sam. I did not get to record with my Mr. Sam Witwer, but every time we see each other, we have a hilarious rapport and I give him a hard time and he apologizes and it's a whole thing. So
that mind blown.
Yeah.
Wow.
Does he ever show up at your doorstep with a dark saber? Anna.
Thankfully not. That would be really creepy, Richard. But I did ask Jon Favreau. I met him at the Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim in 2022. And I said, "Oh, hey!" I said, "I'm Anna. I play the Duchess Satine." And I said, "We both," and I can't remember what I was going to say, but he said, "We were both murdered by Maul." And I said, "Yes, we were." So I said, do you find it weird that do people give you Darth Maul things? Because I get a lot of Darth Maul things. I get a lot of like, I got a fig pin, I got, different artwork and different things that,
That's just mean.
That's weird.
I don't think they're trying to be mean though. I think it's sort of like, well, I had this and I thought of you. And I'm like, oh. Okay.
Hey, hang on one second. Sam, put the Darksaber away. No, she doesn't want it. Doesn't want it.
No,
Okay.
Sam. No.
Okay. Oh, he's fine over there. Okay, so who's the one that needs to be reeled in all the time?
Well, Phil Lamar. Phil Lamar. He was such a goofy guy on the show, and he would definitely go off on fun tangents. And then in the first episode that I was in, I mean, we had some pretty good comedians in that episode. I think we did a good job of either staying on the rails or kicking each other off the rails, but then reeling each other back in, if that makes sense. Because, I mean, I definitely goofed around, especially in the episodes that I had with Ashley and Kat. I love them, and we, especially in the third season, we had a couple of episodes that were just sort of our episodes together, and we gave Dave a hard time about that. We said, "Come on, we need some more adventures for Duchess Satine and Padme and Ahsoka."
Yeah.
Oh, there's a good Forces of Destiny series.
Yeah.
Right.
That would be fun.
So those were fun episodes. We were very goofy on those.
Is there one like parental? Like I can see Tom Kane being the parental figure. Okay, everyone, James, you said, Matt, get off the ceiling. Sam, put that Darksaber down.
So yeah, I could see that as well. I so at the event that I met Sam Witwer for the first time was also where I met Tom Kane, because I never got to record with Tom. He was mostly doing stuff remotely and was definitely, I think, in the studio with some of the cast sometimes, but I never got to be in the studio with Tom. But what a sweetheart.
Yeah,
but I got to meet Tom and Sam for the first time at the 30th anniversary of Return of the Jedi at the Egyptian Theater. They did a really cool special screening at the Egyptian Theater in 2013.
Wow.
Any word on Tom's health? How's he
I
holding
haven't
up?
heard. I don't know. Yeah, I know his daughter was posting for a while and keeping in touch with people, but I don't know. So
Okay.
I wish him.
We wish him all the best.
Absolutely.
The Force is with him.
Yeah. Now, you have a diverse range of characters like in and out of Star Wars. So we want to know, like, what two characters are like the furthest apart? Like your range, Anna Graves' range.
I mean, yeah. So, well, that would probably be the Duchess Satine, the pacifist.
I don't know if I can do that at the moment.
And I also played the female demon hunter in Diablo 3.
As long as I'm here, they are the prey. And I am the hunter.
Where I had lines like, "Your blood will fall like rain." So I was a demon murderous, demon murdering woman on a mission. I like playing bad characters, especially in games who are on a mission or vigilantes or villains. I never got to play a villain in Star Wars, though. Not that I can think of. I played, like you said, I played Jedi Masters, a senator, a Mon Cala senator,
Sugi
bounty hunter. So Sugi's kind of a gray area, right? Bounty hunters they live in that gray world between right and wrong, and I think, I really did love Sugi a lot. We did record some episodes with Sugi that never got made, and that was too bad.
Well, there's the new Shadow Lord series coming up with Sam
I
Witwer.
know. And I had just seen him here in Los Angeles a couple of weeks before that announcement happened at Celebration. So then when I saw the announcement, I just wrote him on Instagram and said, "Congratulations, it's so awesome." So I'm so excited.
Yeah, maybe he won't be the one that got away. Who knows?
Oh, that's true. I hope. We'll see.
All right, now we got to go here. And I don't want to bring up any bad memories, but tell us about the day you recorded the death of Satine at the hands of Darth Maul.
That was rough. was rough, Richard. Why do you have to bring up?
I'm
really
sorry.
hard-
I'm sorry. You know what? This is hard journalism here.
Yeah.
I don't understand. It was awful. It was awful, actually, because we knew it was coming. And the day I walked into the studio, James and I just looked at each other and went, ugh. I gave him a hug, and I was like, do we have to do this? This is stupid. You know, like I had that kick in the dirt feeling and all that stuff, and joking around about it, you know, because I knew it was going to happen. And I knew it was going to happen for a long time. So Duchess Satine, as a lot of you Mandalorian fans know that she is a complicated person, and she's a pacifist, and she didn't like Death Watch. So there were a lot of different things that could have happened to her. And Dave said, well, we know your character's got to die, but we just don't know how. And I said, oh my God, why do I have to die? He said, well, you're not in, episode 3. You don't survive the Clone Wars. I said, oh, bummer. Okay, well, let me know. So, cut to, and then I did some other characters, and then I was there one day, and he said, oh, we know how Duchess Satine is going to meet her demise. And I said, what's going to happen? I thought it was going to be like a political murder or a Death Watch or something. No, Darth Maul is going to kill you to get revenge on Obi-Wan Kenobi for cutting him in half. And I said, Dave, what are you talking about? He got cut in half in episode 1. He's dead. He goes, oh, yeah. We're going to bring him back. And I said, to kill me? Is that the only reason? Is that why? That's the reason? But no, I knew well before that trailer came out, that everybody was like, oh my God, they're bringing back Darth Maul. Everybody was so excited about that. And I was so upset.
And we're so excited, but Anna, why aren't you so excited? You should be more excited about this.
Really great. They're bringing back Darth Maul. No, I thought it was a great, obviously it's a genius idea. But for me personally, I was sad. So when we went in to record that day, it was very sad, but we gave it our all. And we, like I said, Corey Burton played the role opposite me with, as Darth Maul, and opposite James. And it was intense. It was really intense.
Silence! You think you know me? It was I who languished for years, thinking of nothing but you. Nothing but this moment. And now, the perfect tool for my vengeance is in front of us. I never planned on killing you, but I will make you share my pain, Kenobi.
And I do remember there was a pickup. So there was something different that I said to Obi-Wan while I was holding. I don't remember what it was, though, Sarah. Look at her face. She's like, oh my God, she's going to give us a nugget. I don't remember the nugget. Isn't that sad? I went in to re-record the, dying in Obi-Wan's arms moment, and I can't remember what it originally was. So that would be a question for Mr. Filoni.
Okay. Well, I want to know, how many takes do you take?
3.
Okay.
Yeah. It was always 3. It was always like, let's get in there. Let's take it scene by scene. And you know how the episodes were just these genius little, arcs from beginning to end, 22 minutes long. So we would do the first scene 3 times. Great. Got it. Going on. Second scene 3 times. Great. Got it. Going on. Third scene. So we would take it in these chunks. And if your character for some reason was, killed at the beginning of the show, then it was like, okay, that's a wrap on Anna. But for that episode, no, I don't think I was asked to leave. I definitely stayed because I stayed during the fight between, between the brothers, between Darth Maul and Savage Opress.
Wow.
Yeah. And Clancy Brown, oh my God, can I tell you, he was so cool. What a cool dude, and did such a great menacing job with that character. And then Ian Abercrombie as the genius Palpatine. I was standing next to him as we recorded that whole episode. So I know I was standing next to Ian, and I can't remember who was on my right. I think James was a couple people down from me. We always recorded in like a line, like you'd have a stand and a stool and your mic and lights and everything, and everybody's kind of individual of each other, and we're all facing the giant mirror where you have Dave Filoni and the editor and sometimes the writer, producer, casting director, whoever's there that day. They're all in there. And you have like a meeting beforehand too, like you talk about what level of intensity do we think this is going to be at, or how sad do we want to make this, or how what is, we talk about it before we record for a good. We do it outside, like just the actors, and then we would have like a nice meeting with Dave, and we would break it all down, and he would give us backstory and lore and information, and then we would talk about the performances,
And did you know that James was right outside the door recording you on his iPhone? Because he released this video, right, like a year later. Like, this is where Satine dies. This Anna Graves is in the studio right now. And he's like outside recording.
I don't think I know that exists. Or if I did.
We'll have to send it to you.
Please send it to me, Sarah. Like, yeah, if I did see it, I forgot that, but
Yeah. All right, so moving on a little bit. Now, having voiced Princess Leia for the Disney Infinity 3.0 game.
Yes.
Boop, 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 boop.
I know,
there she
right?
is.
Oh,
little
wait.
Leia. You are in the... and it's not very
yours
nice.
is autographed.
Yeah.
I got the toy box. So I was at the Disney store, and the person who was helping us, he was so brilliant and so sweet, and I wish I could remember his name, but this was years ago. And he started talking all about Clone Wars, and he brought up Duchess Satine. So I was like, well, I have to tell him now. And he was very excited, and I said, yeah, and I done like Princess Leia for Disney Infinity 3.0. He said, oh my gosh, wait. And he brought 5 of these out from the back, and he said, would you sign these for the store? That would be so great. And I said, yeah, absolutely. I said, but I get to buy one. I'm buying one for myself. And he said, absolutely. So I don't know what happened to the other 4.
It's funny how we all have our toys right here.
Oh yeah, I know. They're all here. Yes.
They're kind of. I have different. Oh, where's my? You'll appreciate this since we're talking about her.
Oh my goodness! What?
We have one of those.
What is that? A Bop It or something? Bop It Leia? What?
It's
what is that?
Like a little series came out of these little toys. You press their head and their faces exchange.
Oh my god, that's so
we have
funny.
one somewhere.
I love it so much. One of my fellow Princess Leias gave it to me. I think Miss Lee gave it to me.
Yeah, that brings us to our question.
Julie Dolan?
Yes, my Julie, my cat, and my Shelby, and my Misty.
Yeah. You guys are all in the Small Ladies of Leia Club, and I've heard you guys have your Ladies of Leia lunches. But do you have like a special handshake or quote you all say in unison?
Oh well, wouldn't that just be genius? So now we're gonna come up with a handshake. We do not. We went out to lunch for the first time because we had all met each other or knew each other previously. I knew Kat. I introduced myself to Misty at an audition. I reached out to Shelby on social media. Someone else had reached out to Julie on social media. And then finally Misty said, we should just go to lunch. So we went to lunch, and then I don't think we started calling ourselves the Leias Who Lunch until the second or third time we got together. But we were like, oh yeah, that's what we are right now. We are literally the Leias Who Lunch. Because being the voice of Leia is it's incredible, and it's not we don't take ownership of it. Carrie Fisher was the owner of that, so we just feel honored that we got to do Princess Leia for any and all of the projects that we have gotten to work on.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like you're doing a Carrie Fisher impersonation, which is always a good thing. It sounds like you get a whole new take on the character. So what Anna Graves touch were you going for? Because she does sound a little bit like Satine in the royalty way.
The Rebel Alliance needs your help. Couldn't stay away, huh? You certainly made a name for yourself yesterday. Shall we proceed? Decided to take a day off, did you?
In the royalty way, yeah. So I think I had a little bit of a New Hope, General Tarkin, but she had a bit of a British accent at the beginning of that film because of, the crew and who was around her and what they were doing. And she was establishing the character and all those things, right? So, but it's just her sassiness and her quippiness and her just sense of adventure and spirit that I wanted to get a sense of. So, but yeah, harken back to like the lines that I always think of. You have these catchphrases or things that you do to kind of get the character back. So for Princess Leia, it would probably be like, you don't have many moments. No, what did she say? She says,
you have your moments.
You have
not
your
many
moments.
of them.
You have your moments. Not many of them, but you do have them. And that like just sort of, she just dug her heels, and then the scruffy looking, nerf herder. Sorry, I'm blowing my microphone out. So, but yeah, she's so gritty sometimes and frustrated. So I just tried to capture that spirit of her. And I had originally done Princess Leia for a pinball app, and then they had me come in and do an arcade game, and they said, well, you're not necessarily Princess Leia, but you are Princess Leia-esque because you are on a speeder racing through Endor. And I was like, yeah, I'm Princess Leia. But then they called me and actually offered me Disney Infinity, and I said, oh my gosh, yes. So, but I did listen to Carrie's voice periodically while we were recording, just so that I kind of stayed in my version of her, but also was paying homage to her performance.
Yeah. The Anna Graves lane.
Yeah, exactly. It's my lane. And we all kind of do it a little differently, right? Like, and Misty in Battlefront, like she's just so fierce. And Julie, I think she has the raspiness and the alto voice that Carrie had, and it encapsulates that tone so well. And Shelby adds this, fun, lilty sassiness to it as well. And so does Kat. So it's just, we all kind of brought our own thing to it.
Yeah.
Well, successfully too.
The latest Who Lunch.
All right, now we got to move on to the Grave Danger Trivia.
Uh-oh, I'm ready. Put me in, coach.
Okay, here you go. Questions about Anna Graves. Another of your characters was Jedi Master Tiplar, who was an instrumental character since it was her death at the hands of clone trooper Tup, whose inhibitor chip malfunctioned that tipped off the clones were being brainwashed. Tiplar and her sister Tiplee, they were characters based on what concept design?
Oh.
Tiplar and Tiplee, what were they based on? What character concept design?
Oh, Richard, I don't know. I really don't know. I remember... Sorry, helicopter. I remember Dave Filoni complaining that the animators were having such a hard time animating their hair because of the species that they picked. But I can't remember what they're based on.
They are based on a Sith Lord.
Oh, no way!
Yes.
This is for Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, they were thinking about new Sith Lords and these female Sith Lords. So I think you should take this to Dave Filoni and say, hey, this new Darth Maul series that you're doing, Shadow Lord,
right?
Come on, you had it right there.
Yeah, you could be finally your villain character.
There she is. There's my future villain, my lady.
All right, what would she sound like based on this picture?
Well, she's got that Medusa hair. I think she would sound a little snaky and a little evil in this sense. How dare you judge me?
I love it. That was amazing. Oh my goodness.
She's got that hollowness to her. She just looks dead inside.
Yeah.
So we'd have to explore with that. I don't know.
Wait, let me ask. Dave Filoni, did you like that? You'll call her? Okay, good. So Dave's gonna give you a call a little bit later on.
I think I got a hat tip on that one.
There you go.
All right, question number 2. In the Clone Wars episode An Old Friend, you voiced the character Teckla Minnau, who was a handmaiden to Padme Amidala. How does this character connect with Gilligan's Island?
Oh, goodness. I don't know. You have so many good questions. I love it so much. I should have done more research on my own characters before I came in today, knowing this was going to happen.
Well, yeah, that's why you have us here.
Here on Gilligan's Isle, a movie star. Which character from Gilligan's Island was the connection?
Well, this character is a reference to Teckla Minnau. He is the Naboo citizen played by Nathan Hamill, son of Mark Hamill in The Phantom Menace, and Nathan named his character Minnau is a reference to Luke Skywalker's white Gilligan hat that he wore in the deleted scenes from Star Wars.
Yeah.
So, as a reference to Gilligan's Island, he said, okay, this Luke Skywalker Gilligan hat, we're going to throw a Gilligan's Island reference into this character name. And Minnau is a play on the SS Minnow.
The SS Minnow.
The SS Minnow.
Of course.
This is the boat that took Gilligan, the skipper, and Ginger, and Mr. and Mrs. Howell, and Professor, and Marianne on that 3-hour tour.
Yep. I will never forget the name of the SS Minnow, not only because I saw every episode of Gilligan's Isle, but also the movie Scrooged, because that was one of the questions that they were playing in the Christmas movie Scrooged. What was the boat that took them all to the island? The SS Minnow.
Okay.
No points for Alan, James.
Now you got a connection to Gilligan's Island.
I'll take it. I'll take the connection. I like it.
There's an official, unofficial connection between your character Teckla and Teckla Minnau. It's never been confirmed, but it's like, yeah, they're related. They have the same last name, but it was more of an Easter egg than anything else.
I like it.
Okay, last question.
Okay. All right. What karaoke song will you do at the Boonta Eve Special Edition? and will you reprise this Christmas classic?
Yeah, we found this video.
Oh my God. I had just made a joke that I was going to give birth on stage because look at me. I'm like 7 or 8 months pregnant.
Just hear those sleigh bells jingling, ring ting tingling too. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you.
Where did you find this?
We do our research over here.
Yeah, we do.
Good job. That was such a fun show that I did with my friend Rachel McFarlane, the genius voice actor from American Dad. She got all of her friends together. And Corey Burton came out and he read The Night Before Christmas.
Oh, where was this?
I called him and asked him to do it. This was at the, what's the name of that club in Hollywood? It's something Cantina. It's a little club
on Melrose.
No, it's closer to Hollywood. Wait, look, doesn't it say right there? Is it like the Catalina, Catalina's Bar and Grill or something like that?
That's what it looks like. Yeah.
Something
Lena Bar and Grill.
It's a really cool space, but can I just tell you how nervous I was? I was super pregnant, so I couldn't even have like a little sip of wine or anything to relax. And I was so scared I was going to, forget the words. And I mean, I was performing alongside Wayne Brady and Seth Green and, and Rachel and, amazing actors. So at the end of this show, after we all did our own solo acts, we did a really fun rendition of the 12 Days of Christmas and we did improv.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fun. Which day were you?
I think I was 4 because I remember I came right after 5 golden rings. So obviously I was the 4.
So you were the calling birds.
I was the 4 calling birds. But I love that. Thank you guys. That's so wonderful. I grew up singing and doing musical theater and I love it so much. So I had just joked recently that I would do Maybe the song that I would do would be Come What May from
Moulin Rouge.
From Moulin Rouge,
Yeah!
because so many people love to say that because Ewan McGregor was in Moulin Rouge and Satine is the character in Moulin Rouge. So come what may.
That's amazing.
But
You and James Earl Taylor need to do a duet.
I know, right? James, we've got to get you up there. But I don't know if I can sing that song. So I'll have to try singing it before I come. But I think the joy of karaoke is that it should be spontaneous as well. And it should be whatever you're in the mood to sing. So
We'll delete this part just so it can be spontaneous. Like, I didn't know I was gonna do this.
But I don't care either way. I think it would be fun to do Come What May, but then also like be able to do if somebody else who worked with me or somebody else shows up that's coming that weekend. If Katie Sackhoff shows up, then we've got to do Sisters.
Oh, the Crease Sisters.
Sisters. However that song goes. What's that song from? White Christmas. See, now you got me in a Christmas mood.
Aww.
It's June, so we're at the halway point.
It's
to Christmas.
June, July, and Christmas. And I'll be watching Scrooged. So just.
I would volunteer to do the other half of Come What May, but Sarah made me promise that I would never sing in public again.
You don't,
or even in private.
No. That's the joy of karaoke is you don't have to be good at it.
I've made karaoke DJs stop the song and say, "Get off the stage." That's the level where I am.
I like lower songs that are beltier. So Come What May is kind of high, but we'll see if I can pull that off. But that would be fun. So Boonta Eve, it's just gonna be a blast. I'm so excited. It's gonna be like one big Star Wars party.
Yeah, and you will be signing at the Rebel Patio Grill in Frisco, Texas on August 8th, 2025 for Boonta Eve Special Edition.
Yes.
And
so I'll have some stuff for anybody that I can sign for you guys. But if you want to bring your own things, I've signed helmets. I've signed comics. If you have a Dark Horse comic with Tiplee and Tiplar in it, there you go. I'll sign that. But yeah, I think it's going to be so much fun. And I always love to see who else is going to come out. It's a great lineup that evening.
Yeah, and a huge shout out to Spencer Jawaz for putting all of this together and for connecting us.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Spencer.
Yes.
Yay.
That man is a credit to the Star Wars fan community.
Yeah, now if our Skywalkers want to get in touch with you before Boonta Eve Special Edition, what is your social media?
Yeah, please come find me on Insta at GravyPic. PIC, and then pretty much everything else is Gravy Voice, like Threads. I just got on Blue Sky. I think I have 20 followers on there now. So I haven't posted anything. And then I'm on Facebook it's Anna Graves Voice Actor.
Okay.
But I'm mostly on Instagram, so come find me.
Awesome.
Will do. All right, now, if Satine Crease were to close out this segment, what would she do? What would she say?
First of all, I would like to thank Richard and Sarah for putting on such an excellent show today, bringing the peace to Skywalking Network. May the Force be with you, always.
That was amazing.
Shout-outs, Skywalker shout-outs. Which Skywalkers get props from here in Neverland? Who was tweeted out? Shout-out. Who was photobombed? Shout-out. Who was shared a post? Shout-out.
So now, this is my favorite part of the show, thanking all the Skywalking Force. But before we do that, we want to remind everyone, see that ticker running in the bottom of the screen? Next week, we're going to do a Jaws episode to celebrate the 50th anniversary of that Little Shark movie. Mm-hmm. And we want, once again, to involve all the Skywalkers. So if you have a Jaws story, how it affected you when you first saw it, how you can never go back into the water after you saw it, if you like Jaws 3 or Jaws 4 or Jaws 2 better than Jaws 1, or how you want to rate all the Jawses, please go ahead and send us in a video, shoot it horizontally, keep it up to a minute?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, about a minute long.
And send it to
share@skywalkingthroughneverland.com.
We can't wait. That'll be next week. But for this week, right now, we want to thank the Skywalking Force, which includes Anthony Kakias,
Blessed Cheesemaker,
Bryn McKinnon,
Carl Fox,
Chickafant,
Christopher Marino,
Courtney Turkel,
Dale Erdman,
Darren Irvine,
Dave Kerwin,
Don Glover, hey, Don's in the Sky Chat,
DynastyBook.net,
Glenn Stein,
Goalie Rob,
Jeff Caffrey, also in the Sky Chat,
Jeremy and Heather Hunt,
Joey Pittman,
John Liang,
John Zancanaro,
Jonathan Chiato,
Jordan Paley,
Julie Caruana,
Julie and James Gildersleeve,
Justin Smith,
Cato Toby Ryder,
Kelly Turkel,
Kristen Carr,
Laura Bryce,
Leanne Nelson,
Meredith Duckworth,
Michael Corbett,
Michael Nip,
Michael Ward,
Nancy Steinman,
Patrick Pine,
Patty Hammond,
Patty Nazarian,
Peter and Norma Heitman,
Reynold Gobey. Happy birthday, Reynold.
Oh, yay. Ryan Wiltberger,
Sasha Barrios,
Scott Carmichael,
Scott Hume,
Taryn Bench,
Wesley Meecombs,
William Magalio,
and Win Patterson. Thank you, one and all. Thank you so much for everything.
Yeah, you guys really help us out every single month, and we so appreciate that.
Because you know what? Podcasting gets expensive. But you're able to help us out. It takes a village to put on a podcast, and you help us out every month. So thank you, and thank you.
Well, that wraps up this episode 519 of
Skywalking Through Neverland.
We want to thank Anna Graves and Spencer Jowitz for hooking us up, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Skywalking Through Neverland. And you can also find us on all socials at Skywalking Pod.
Now, do you have something that you want to share? Well, we do. So join us every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time for our live YouTube show, Things We Want to Share. Every week we come up, we share things we've done in the past. This last week we shared our Jaws experience over at Universal Studios Hollywood and our experiences over at the Hollywood Bowl seeing Hugh Jackman. We do trivia. Last week we did Muppet trivia in honor of the closing of Muppet Vision 3D. So every week we have fun trivia. And we invite you to come on this show and share something that you've done or something that you've added to your collection. So please join us once again every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time for our live YouTube show,
Things We Want to Share. Are you interested in our books? Well, we have autographed copies available of Today in Star Wars History, Parts 1 and 2, plus Skywalking Through My Fandom, the interactive notebook. This is the only place you can get the hardcover copies of Today in Star Wars History. And you can get those from skywalkingthroughneverland.com/book.
Well, do you want to support Skywalking Through Neverland? Well, consider supporting us through the Skywalking Force, our Patreon. And every month you get to hear your name said by us in a way, whether you like it or not.
That's right. You are our producers.
Yes.
Sponsors. We love it.
Now, the Skywalking Force has bonus content in the form of our Zoom and StreamYard discussions on past Disney Plus shows. You can get coupons. You got a little something every holiday season.
And also, if we happen to put out an episode early, you get that episode early in the week. Like last week's episode came out, I think, 4 days in advance. So you guys got it early.
Yay. Now, we want to thank our sponsor, Small World Vacations, for their continued support. Thinking of a trip to a Disney park, a Disney cruise, or to a Universal Studios theme park? We can fill out a Get a Quote form at smallworldvacations.com today. Their vacation planning service is free of charge, so check them out and tell them Skywalking Through Neverland sent you.
Now, we are part of the Skywalking Network.
I know Kevin Toft in the Sky Chat. He's yelling Sky Chat.
Yeah, Skynet. Where you can also find other great shows like Talking Apes,
The Max Effects Podcast,
Star Warsologies,
The Neverland Clubhouse,
Totally Tell Me Everything,
and the YouTube shows Collectopolis and Today in Star Wars History. Now, don't forget to stick around for bloopers and other fun bits like Sarah telling me to do my clappy claps that didn't make it into the proper show. And
always remember
to send in your Jaws videos.
And
Neverland on Alderaan. My name is Anna Graves.
Okay.
I went by Anna Duchess Graves today.
Oh,
cool.
nice. Okay.
I apologize for my indiscretion. The Duchess.
Legally changed my middle name.
That was awesome. Wow.
You have no idea how big of a thrill it is to hear Star Wars voice actors say our names.
Yeah. That's so
When we
cool.
first met Nika Futterman, we said, just say our names.
Oh, Asajj Ventress. She's so deliciously villainous. I love her.
Yes.
All
So,
right.
Richard, I need your clappy claps. Da-da. No, that's next week. I have a funny anecdote. So today I did my animal show for the kids, and I always ask them what sounds do animals make. And so I said, okay, well, what does a giraffe say? What does a cat say? Well, one kid, I asked him their favorite animal. They were like, shark. He was wearing a shark shirt. And I was like, well, what does a shark say? And the kid goes, dum, dum, dun, 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 dun.
That's a proper answer.
It was amazing.
You know what? That boy gets fast-tracked to college. Hey, look at those names to the left. They are part of the Skywalking Force, our Patreon.
Become a producer yourself and check out all the Disney Plus themed bonus content available depending on the level you subscribe.
Become a member of the elite Skywalking Force at skywalkingforce.com.